Yo, big guest in the building, the one and only PUSHA T. My bro, what's good?
It's been a while, man. You know, we were saying daylight, nighttime pool party. We already know how that went.
Oh my God, man, those were some movies back then before the pandemic and whatnot. I mean, yo, to be honest, man, I want to say I remember that night, but I probably don't. So
Of course we don't. It wasn't a night. If you remember it wasn't a night.
You know how Vegas is. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yo, congratulations, new album out. It's Almost Dry. How you feeling right now, man? It's the biggest hip hop album out right now.
I'm loving it, man. I'm loving the reception. I'm loving what everybody's saying about the album. I'm thinking it's being received just how I felt it would. You know me, I'm going for the Rap Album of the Year title. So, you know, putting together this masterpiece was really, really a process, really tedious process, but in seeing it come out, I think it was all worth it. All worth it.
It's an amazing body of work, man. I literally spent the entire morning. I got up probably about a good, I'd say probably like 6:30 to prepare for this conversation. And I'm not gonna lie, man, this shit gave me energy, bro. Like, yo, I was like, yo, this is one of them ones right there, man. So compared to Daytona, how would you explain It's Almost Dry? Like, where did the inspiration come from to get this body of work together?
Well, coming off of Daytona, I knew that I just couldn't do the same thing. I knew that I needed, for this next album, it had to be some level of event. You know, Daytona was solely produced by Kanye. And, you know, I felt like even if I just went back in with Kanye, it was something that people had heard before. So I actually decided, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start my album and I'm gonna go work with Pharrell.
Which was insanity, by the way.
Yeah,
my God.
like,
when I heard that news, I was like, yo,
yeah,
we're gonna get one of them ones.
Yeah, so I went to work with him. I got about 3 or 4 tracks in. And then I left Miami and went to LA. And I showed Kanye what I was doing. And he was like, that's what y'all on? That's what y'all doing? And man, he ended up giving me another, 3, 4 tracks. And at that time I was like, okay, boom, I'm around 8 tracks. And I was like, I gotta set a cutoff point. And I was like, for real, each of them can give me 2 more tracks apiece. That'll be easy.
For sure.
And that was 12 tracks. And I was like, yeah, 12 gonna be the number. Half produced by Ye, half produced by Pharrell. And I as I started saying it and really seeing this thing blossom into what it was turning into, I was like, oh, it's conversation even in that. You know, the level of the producers, 2 producers going head to head. I was like, man, I'm sort of having my own little versus battle here.
I love that.
And I think it made for
it definitely showed.
Product. Yeah, it definitely showed. It definitely made for the best product. And when I just think about how different they are, and they both like something very different from me musically. So I knew that I was going to have a much more well-rounded album than I had with Daytona.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, I read somewhere that you had, what was that movie? The Joker on mute in the background and on mute. Like no vocals, nothing, but you would have the actual movie playing in the background during the recording process of this entire album. Why was that?
Having the Joker playing was mood setting. That's what we were doing in Miami. Pharrell really feels that my persona should be more of a character, and that was the way to take my artistry to the next level. And he was like, man, just in sitting in the studio and just turning on movies for like energy and ambiance, he turned on the Joker and he was like, you know what? He was like, Push, that is you. He was like, you are the Joker, bro. He was like, we need to really hone in on this energy. He was like, very methodic, very, over the top, just really, switch at the flip of a switch. I can be on or off. And he was like, man, we need to really dial into that. And We did. So it got to a point where we would just turn off the sound, and he would make the beat, and if the beat went with some of our favorite parts of the movie, we were like, yeah, that's a keeper. That energy right there.
That's fire right there.
And that's how we did that.
That's a fire ass process right there. I would never ever think of like, that's I mean, just to have that, like, thought process, like, yo, you know what? It's almost like scoring a movie, like you said. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, all right, yeah, this fits. This is it.
Yeah. P's been doing that a lot. He's been scoring a lot of movies and things like that too. So I just think it sort of, was another way of looking at it for him and try to get me out of my comfort zone, because I'm super comfortable with just barring you up for 16, and 24, whatever it is.
Now, this body of work is like the perfect balance of superhero and supervillain. Who do you prefer to be?
Oh, I'm the villain for sure.
And why is that?
The villain is on the attack.
And that is you.
Yeah, the villain is on the attack for sure. And I don't want to be hunted ever.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Hove, you've got Ye, you've got Pharrell on this album. Is there a story about a particular song that that you've done on this album that gave you a moment that you'll never forget for the rest of your life or career?
Well, I will say this. The rock and roll song, which is myself, Cudi, and Kanye.
Fire.
And that is actually the only song that Pharrell and Kanye both produced together.
Wow.
So on the album. So,
okay.
Man, I just, I think about that particular day, and it just seemed like the stars were aligning that day. Like, me and Ye were in a downtown LA art space. He just got up and started chopping the sample for Beyonce, 1+1, which, she had to clear that for me. And I appreciate that so much, that Beyonce allowed for the record to be, what it is today. And, and then out of nowhere, Cudi comes in the studio. He comes in the studio. I hadn't seen Cudi in so long. Mind you, this is pandemic time. So this is like one of the first days everybody's just getting out.
Wow.
And man, he did like 5 different renditions of hooks and bridges and B choruses. And we just got to choose through it, pick through it. And man, we just put the song together, and it was real. The energy was so good, man. So I'm never gonna forget that day, especially with Cudi and Ye right now on they drama tip, and Cudi saying he never gonna work with Ye again, and you guys, all of that stuff that is going on right now. But who knows? Who knows if that's the case? Let's hope not. But
for sure,
if it is, that memory was super strong. It was super strong, and it made for a really, really great record when times were better.
I mean, I think a lot of people probably got taken by surprise when they seen both of them on one record on your album. You know what I mean? So everyone was like, yo, for real? Like, I'm pretty sure that was probably one of the first records that someone was really intrigued to listen to, just because of that whole entire situation that we just explained right now. So,
right.
Neck and Wrist, Pharrell, Hove, that had to be insane.
Oh, for sure.
That had to be just like a massive experience in general.
Yeah, Hove, man, that is a musical relationship that on the music side I take very seriously and treat very delicately. I mean, it's Hove. When it's for music, I'm only reaching out, when I feel like I got something that's that heat, and when I feel like I need the song to go to the next level, and I can't take it to that next level. I feel like I've said all that I can say on the song. So this happened to be one of those ones. I sent him the verse, the hook with open space, and man, he loved magic. It. He loved it and sent me back some magic.
So I got 2 questions left. I know you're very pressed for time, man. Today's a big day for you. You know what I mean? You got one of the biggest hip hop albums to drop literally last night. Everyone's talking about it, man. So, a lot of people have been hitting me up because I put it on social that we were going to be speaking today. If there would be a CLIPSE reunion or something of that matter. But I did realize that you had a record with Malice and Labyrinth called I Pray For You. How was it working on that record? That seems to be a big full circle moment for you guys.
Yeah, definitely a full circle moment. As far as the clips go, man, I would definitely love to do an album. I feel like the last two offerings from Malice, meaning I Pray For You on this album and the Punch Bowl record on the I Know Nego album, has shown the world that, the Clipse could definitely be back as a duo, top contenders, top competitors in this music space.
Always.
And I think, it remains to be seen, but, I feel like people should enjoy these last two offerings and hey, man, I don't know, hit up his Twitter and his IG.
Let him know. Yo, that was when we first met too, during the Clipse years, man.
Yeah,
remember that back in the day?
Of course. Yes.
Do you find yourself in a different space today with putting more pressure on yourself to take your career to a level it's never been on compared to how it was before?
I wouldn't say that it's pressure. I just, as long as I'm doing music, man, I'm always trying to go to the next level. And that's either, just that could be with knowledge, that could be in accolades, that could just be in, the competitive spirit of the act of competing. Either way, man, as long as I'm doing this music, I'm going to be super focused on trying to just be, as successful as I can and as creative as I can. For me, that's what my musical race is. How long can I be, competitive? Like when you hear this album and you understand that I am competing with whoever is out there, whoever, is popular, whoever music is supposed to be that guy, whatever lyricist is supposed to be that guy. You hear my album and I'm competing with that. I don't want to be in this game existing. I always want to be competing. So
I love that.
As long as I'm doing that, we gonna be at it.
That's right. It's my brother, PUSHA T. We've known each other for very, very many years.
Yes.
Man, it's great. It's great. It's great to, to hear this body of work, man. Congratulations. And, I'm very, very proud to support this record all over, wherever I'm at. It don't matter. And whenever you in LA or in Vegas, we got to get together, man. We got to catch up for sure. You know what I mean?
I'll be there shortly.
That's my brother right there. Ladies and gentlemen, PUSHA T on the basement. E-Rock, let's go. Love.
Love.